Alright, so I'm gonna start off by asking you guys a question. Do any of you know what these two flags mean? Beside you. No? Alright. So these are used for international code on boats to signify that there is somebody below the water. So my topic today is mostly going about scuba diving and how it came about, what are some of its origins, and some of the benefits and opportunities you can get from scuba diving. So scuba diving goes way back. Scuba diving was initially created by Giovanni Borelli in 1680 during the late 17th century, but it's been fascinating people ever since ancient Greeks and Romans. There's references in Homer's Iliad about people diving into the water with breathing devices, and it's just exploring underneath the ocean has been fascinating people for hundreds of years, if not thousands. So during 1730, 1800s, a little bit after this guy, they tried to figure out a way to increase the time underneath in the water. So research went and happened, and they decided for that time that using 100% pure oxygen was the best answer to increase your time. But during that time as well, they realized that after about 33 feet, which is where one bar or one atmosphere gets added on to your body, oxygen starts to become poisonous to the human body. So after figuring that out, they went back and figured out and tried to play with the mixture, which happened with William H. James, and he was the one who first created a self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, which is what scuba stands for. It allows you to be able to carry your air supply on your back while not needing to resurface or not needing any topside help for anything. But after this, they continued, they made improvements. Dr. Schwann created the first O2 tank in 1853, which helped with scuba diving. So they actually created a metal tank. It was made out of copper at the time, and it could hold about 400 psi, which isn't a lot. To give you an insight, that's about 30 minutes tops underneath, which is a huge advancement. But now we have O2 tanks that hold 3,000 psi. So they can range anywhere from about an hour to 2.5 underneath the water on one tank. Going further, going from this, we got the discovery of carbon that builds up in the tank as well. So they were trying to figure out how these O2 tanks, being underwater breathing apparatus, how to get rid of carbon, because nobody can breathe just straight carbon. So they ended up creating an octopus, which is the tubing and stuff that goes on top of an oxygen tank, and it helps with the movement and manipulation of the air, so that way when you exhale through the mouthpiece, it actually just goes into the water instead of going back into the tank to get recycled. The next point is going over some of the health benefits. So health benefits came from scientific.com, which is also an online article, and it's also a physical piece of paper. It's a magazine for a cruise line that hosts a lot of scuba diving events. And these are just some of the health benefits that they listed. It helps with your blood circulation, helps emotional well-being, helps reduce blood pressure, increases strength and flexibility, and it also helps relieve stress. Going along with that, besides just relieving stress, you get recreational dive sites. You get the opportunities now, the opportunities of why it's critical for people interested in scuba diving to understand the opportunities for it. Each one of these red squares is a different dive site across the world. As you can see, there's a lot around the Great Barrier Reef and in the Caribbean and Mediterranean. And this is where you really get to go out and explore and experience new cultures as well and help. And plus, who wouldn't want to end up with a view like this every morning? And those are my resources.